khutbah for some days. He used to kiss and fondle the corpse till it began to give out a foul odor. Then, he ordered its burial. Again, he ordered them to exhume the corpse. After that, Yazid did not live for more than 15 days. Allama Damiri, Hayat al-Haywan, Urdu translation, pg. 217, published Dar al-Shah, Karachi. 25. Tariq Kamil, Ibn Athir, Events of the Year 105 AH. 26. Al-Jaqd al-Farid, Volume 4, pg. 202. 27. That means to prevent them from leaving the city. 28. Makatalat Talibayan, pg. 135. 29. Let us see the following extract of an article entitled, Muhammad Shah, Rangila by the famous columnist, Javed Chaudhary, in the 7th of December 2007 issue of Express Karachi. Though in this column, the writer has written about many colorful personalities profligates of the ancient and the modern world, he has not mentioned anything about the profligacy of Bani Umayyah and Bani Abbas rulers. Probably the writer considers them to be the shadows of God on the earth. Anyway, Chaudhary writes, the real name of the prince was Roshan Akhtar. He was the son of Shah Jahan Hujjat Akhtar and the grandson of Shah Alam Bahadur Shah I. When the Saeed brothers released him from jail, he occupied the throne on the 17th of September 1719. He selected for himself the title of Nasiruddin Muhammad Shah, but he became known in history as Muhammad Shah Rangila. Muhammad Shah Rangila was an unnaturally imbalanced profligate. Day and night he used to remain drunk, and all the time busy with music and dance. He had a strange obsession of making laws and breaking them. He was such a ridiculous man that one moment he awarded anyone the highest post in the country, and whenever he liked he sent the prime minister to jail. He often arrived at the court nude, and the courtiers in compliance with his idiosyncrasy, took off their clothes. Many a time, he used to be so intoxicated with power that he urinated openly in the court, and all the high-ranking officials, scholars, and nobles of Delhi applauded his antics. He simply issued orders that the next day all the courtiers should come dressed in latest garments, and such minister shall put on tinkling ankles. None could dare oppose him. He used to arrive in the court and order that all the prisoners be released from the prison, and then ordered that an equal number of new prisoners be arrested. On the orders of the king, sepoys used to go out and arrest whoever they found on the street and cast them into the jail. Muhammad Shah Rangila was very fond of awarding posts and honors. Every day he appointed 5 new ministers and awarded honors to hundreds of people. And the next day he withdrew these ministries and honors. He came to the court, accompanied by prostitutes, and rested on their legs, arms, and bellies, and controlled the government. He forced the Qadi of the city to perform ablution wuzu with wine. He had proclaimed that every beautiful woman of Hindustan was his trust, and whoever cheated him in this matter would be put to death. During his rule, he gave the status of a minister to his favorite horse. Wearing the royal insignia, the horse used to occupy a place in the court along with the other courtiers. Due to excessive drinking, Muhammad Shah Rangila died on the 26th of April 1748. Even today, when one sees his name in history, one laughs out involuntarily. Muhammad Shah Rangila was not a unique sample of this type. The history of the world is full of such creatures. 30. Maruhuz Zahab. 31. Volume 5, pg. 190. 32. Regarding Bani Umayyah, Imam Ali says, beware that the worst mischief for you in my view is the mischief of Bani Umayyah, because it is blind, and it also creates darkness. Its sway is general, but its ill effects are for particular people. He who remains clear-sighted in it would be affected by distress, and he who remains blind in it would avoid the distress. By Allah, you will find Bani Umayyah after me the worst people for yourselves, like the old unruly she-camel who bites with its mouth, beats with its forelegs, kicks with its hind legs, and refuses to be milked. They would remain over you till they would leave among you only those who benefit them, or those who do not harm them. Their calamity would continue till your seeking help from them would become like the seeking of help by the slave from his master or by a follower from his leader. Their mischief would come to you like evil-eyed fear and pre-Islamic fragments, wherein there would be no minaret of guidance nor any sign of salvation to be seen. This world cannot appear sweet to you in its pleasures, and you cannot secure milk from its udders except after having met it when its nose rein was trailing, and its leather girth was loose. For certain people, its unlawful items were like bent branches laden with fruit, while its lawful items were far away and are not available. By Allah, you would find it like a long shade up to a fixed rhyme. So, the earth is with you without let or hindrance, and your hands in it are extended while the hands of the leaders are held away from you. Your swords are banging over them while their swords are held away from you. I swear by Allah, O Bani Umayyah, shortly you will see it, i.e. your possession, in the hands of others and in the house of your enemy Bani Abbas. Flags of this mischief are actually standards of misguidance, fixed in its center and spread all around through its offshoots. It weighs you with its weights and confuses you with its measures. Its leader is an outcast from the community. He persists on misguidance. At that time there will remain no house or tent, but oppressors would inflict it with grief and inject sickness in it. On that day, no one in the heaven will listen to their excuse, and no one on the earth will come to their help. You selected for governance caliphate one who is not fit for it, and you raised him to a position which was not meant for him. Shortly Allah will take revenge from everyone who has oppressed, food for food and drink for drink, namely they will be given colocynth for food, myrrh and aloes for drinks, and fear for an inner and the sword for an outer covering. They are nothing but carrier beasts laden with sins and camels laden with evil deeds. Naj al-Balagha. I swear and again swear that the Umayyads will have to spit out the caliphate as phlegm is spat, and thereafter, they will never taste it nor relish its flavor, so long as day and night rotate. Naj al-Balagha. 33. The slogans of human rights, freedom, independence, and equality that are being raised today have the blood of the bold and revolutionary poets like Farazdak, Kumayt and Dibble, etc. Shares. Bani Abbas. From time to time, there were revolts against Bani Umayyah. In the beginning of the Umayyad regime, these revolts were quickly suppressed as they were not widespread. But the revolt which Bani Umayyah were unable to quell was the one that took place during the days of Marwan Haimar, the last Umayyad monarch. On this occasion, people from various backgrounds rose against him. The army and the police force also disobeyed his orders, and even his friends deserted him. Eventually, Marwan's position became completely weak, and bribes and promises of government offices to various persons also failed to serve any purpose. A large segment of the army rebelled against Marwan, and he was compelled to flee from one town to another. As and when he entered a town, the people behaved in the worst manner towards him. When he reached Mosul, the inhabitants raised slogans against him and closed the doors of the city. Then he went to Consaran, and the people attacked his forces. When he went to Hamat there was a great furore against him. Thus, he returned to Syria but was turned away from there as well. Then he proceeded to Palestine, but the Palestinians also became aloof from him. In short, this monarch could not find refuge in any city. In all these cities, the army of Bani Abbas pursued Marwan Haimar, and he fled from one place to another, until he was eventually killed at the end of 132 AH in the city of Bizr in Egypt. With his death, the caliphate of Bani Umayyah ended. So, the roots of the people who were unjust were cut off. And all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the world. 6. 45. 1,000-month rule. Masudi says, the total duration of Umayyad rule, till the time when allegiance was taken for Abu al-Abbas Safa, was 1,000 months, because they ruled for 90 years, 11 months, and 13 days. It is narrated in Tafsir ar-Razi that Qasim ibn Fazl quotes Imam Hassan, as saying that the Holy Prophet saw in a dream that the Umayyads